Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Joanne, and I'm a typical Dutchman, and I react to all kinds of videos about life and living in the US and life and living in Europe or the Netherlands specifically. And if you like this kind of videos, reaction videos about life and living in Europe or the US, then please consider to hit the subscribe button. We are still trying to get to the magical 1,000 subscribers, and we are way on our way. We are well on our way to get there. So only a few is left, and then we're there. So it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the subscribe button. And for today, I'm going to take a look at a video from European World Cup. Of course, the World Cup is going on, and I told you guys that I would make another video, react to another, because I don't make them. I react to another video about Europeans in the US and experiencing the World Cup. And this one is Europeans World Cup fans shocked by America's tipping culture. Brian's reaction. Yeah, I've seen him before. I believe we did a video a couple of weeks ago up with him too. Yeah. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago in one of my videos about tipping, and I got a lot of reactions on it. So this is really a hot topic. I know, because a lot of countries over here in Europe don't have a tipping culture. They don't tip at all, or sometimes, yeah, a bit, rounding up. While in the United States, it's common practice that you tip. Yeah. It's two different cultures, as we're talking about culture shock, but not only two. It's the the European bag up, as in we don't tip. A lot of nations don't, versus the United States, we require you to tip, because if you don't tip, then you will not be served the next time. So yeah. So let's see how my fellow Europeans react to the tipping culture of the United States. Here we go.
Just pay your stuff! Just pay your stuff! We won't be tipping for beers and a half!
Yeah, that's the most heard argument from European side, as and just pay your staff well, so that they don't need as much the tips as it is right now, because a lot of waiters and let's say a lot of the service employees need the tips to get by, to pay the bills and to have food on the table. So the general idea in Europe is, well, pay them better. Then it's not that necessary that everybody needs to pay whatever 10, 15 or 20% tip to this person, because he or she has already a decent income, like we have over here in the Netherlands, in Europe. Everybody in Europe who works in this kind of business, in restaurants and cafes, etc., has a normal income and can live from it. So yeah. Okay, next to Norwegian. So this is a Norwegian. Okay.
The tip culture is nothing we're used to.
No.
Have you been tipping?
Yes, a lot.
A lot. What? Okay. I was just saying that in America, there's a tipping culture because of the service. They give you good service, you pay them with a tip. But the self-checkout service, ask. And then, oh, you've got the option of no tip, 15%, 18%, I believe, and 20%. Were you prompt to leave a tip? No. Come on, guys. If there is no interaction between the customer and the man or woman who is serving you, then this should not be. No. I agree. I would, in this case, I would say, no tip. I did it all on myself.
For what?
For what? Yeah, no tip, yes. And then pay.
Okay, so bill's $50, so let's add 20% tip.
German.
Okay, so bill's
POV, German versus American tipping. German. Okay. I've spent a lot of time in my neighbor's country, the Germans, so a German versus American tipping. Okay, so the bill is $50.
$50, so let's add 20% tip.
20% on top of the 50.
Yeah, that's normal.
I like the accent. 20% on top of the 50.
That's not normal. In Germany, we give 2 euros and they say Dankeschön.
Okay, well that's insulting, okay? They leave off tips here.
But maybe your country should start focusing on paying them a real salary and not let us pay for that, yeah?
She is German for sure because she did probably say Dankeschön. Yeah, aber no, now I'm switching to German. Yeah. Oh boy, how is this continuing? That's not how it works in Germany. No, I know, my dear, it's not working this way in Germany.
That's not how it works.
Unverschämtheit.
Unverschämtheit, yeah. You know what? I gave it in. Oh, 2 languages mixed up. You know what? I give you €1.50.
You know what? Ich gebe den 1,50 €.
Wait, $1.50?
Yeah,
For a $50 bill?
I think that's appropriate.
That's, oh my God.
Bye. Yeah. For 50, maybe because it's a $50 bill. It could be. When you're in Germany or most other countries, experience here in the Netherlands, or if you have dined and you have your meal, your drinks, and you're finished, and you say, check please, and they bring you a check for, in this case, let's say total for your dinner for 2 of you is 47 euro, and I don't know, let's say 50 cents. Then you say, okay, 47.50, okay, make it a round number, make it 50. And then you give automatically a €2.50 tip because you round it up to the nearest big number because we have 50 euro bills. So you pay a $50, a 50 euro bill, and everything is okay. That's usually how it works over here. So you're rounding up to the nearest number. And if you're really satisfied, then you can say, okay, I put in another 10. So then you go up to 60 as the nearest number. And then you give a tip of 12.5. But that's not common over here. Yeah. Good. Next.
This fucking Australian family, their bill was $200. No tip.
Australian family. No tip of a $200 bill. Yep. I don't know how it is in Australia.
Not gonna lie, I don't blame that family for not tipping you. It's just that in
She is Australian. Thank you.
Australia, we don't know how to tip. Like, we have no tipping culture here. The only time that we tip anyone is if you give us our change and we don't want that change, we'll chuck it in the tip jar. But I'm pretty sure if you explained to that family, oh, hey, like, you have to tip us and blah, 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 they would gladly tip you. You can even fucking scam them. You can be like, oh, the minimum tip here is like $50 because of this, that. They'll probably give you that $50, I'm telling you. Just be careful on which type of Aussie you scam, because some of us are a little bit feisty and we might argue back. But yeah, fuck the US. Why are you working for tips, bro? Come to Australia, you get paid by the hour. And if you work on a Sunday or a public holiday, you get double pay. And we also got government support. So if you're a single mother raising a child, the government will send you money and help support your child. You even get discounts on bringing your child to daycare, which is crazy. Come to Australia.
European.
Come to Australia. I would say come to Europe. We have the same. But yeah, she's talking about, yeah, if you have a small number and you round it up, that's how a lot of, and I guess in Australia they do it the same. Like, we round it up to the next nearest big number and that's it. Yeah.
Discovering American tipping culture is kind of funny.
What I find weird is that I'll just get a bottle of water from someone and they're trying to get a tip for doing nothing.
We went out the other night and had a few drinks and they were expecting a tip after every drink. So it's like, it can get expensive very quick.
In Japan,
A tip after every drink? Yeah, maybe because it's FIFA soccer and they don't sure that you will stay for a couple of hours and actually gonna build up a bill and then tip at the end. Yeah, but after every drink, a tip? Yeah, that won't work for me either.
there's no tipping. I think the price without the tipping is already expensive. So with the tipping, I think it's way too much.
You see a price and then you got the tax, then you got the tip. So everything is more than you think.
It should be on the business, not the customer, to be kind of making sure your staff are well paid.
If you're getting a bottle of water to take away, you should not be expected to pay 30% on top of that.
30%. Wasn't it 20%?
And something that really annoys me is when you go to get something like takeaway, and let's say the price is like $7. In a lot of states, you have sales tax. So you're paying the sales tax and the tip on top of that. So you end up seeing the final price of like $14, because some places just kind of force it on you. Even though it's not mandatory, you know, it's kind of forced, to be honest. I like how
I was looking where he is because it doesn't look like that he is in the United States. I recognize the signs, the street signs. It's
in Europe is mostly limited to food, so you're not going to go to like a doctor's office or to go get your tires changed and expect it to pay like 30% on top. And like even in the US, some Airbnbs are asking for tips now. Like, it's getting ridiculous. But here, even with the food, you know, it's not ridiculous. They're not expecting like 40%. Of course, if the service is really good, you can do that.
Restaurants and
so it's went up from 20 to 30 to 40%. Exaggerating. News: World Cup. Tourists don't leave tips and instead insist on restaurants paying American workers fair wages. Yeah, it's the main argument between Europe and the United States. I get it.
major cities across America are being forced to put automatic 20% tips on checks during the World Cup, as tourists who are coming in from Europe and elsewhere, where tipping culture is very different, are not leaving tips for servers and instead demanding that restaurants pay a fair wage. It's a very interesting development. According to the New York Post and other reports, restaurants across New York, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Kansas City, and elsewhere have been putting automatic 20% tips on all tabs during the World Cup. Why? Because foreigners, not from the United States, where tipping culture is very different, are coming into the United States and not tipping, not out of stinginess, but rather out of a different sense of culture. Their culture is different than ours. But it's sparking a very important debate. Instead of tipping culture, how about restaurants just pay their servers and employees a fair wage? I would love
I have a different question. Is it allowed to put, for example, automatically 20% tip on a bill? Just without informing the customer, without informing them before they order, without any signs that says we charge automatically 20% tip. I don't know if it's even allowed to do this without the discussion that already during the entire video is pay your staff. Yeah.
I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments below. Spread the word, and as always, follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
Non-tipper fee. Restaurants are quietly adding non-tipper fees to bills, hoping you won't notice. Grilled octopus, sea salt oysters, strawberry margarita, and 4 ketchup, $2, and then $11.16 tipper fee. Total, subtotal 66, tax, and then total 73. $18. Okay. Is this legal? I want, and then still asking for a tip. So there's a non-tipper fee of $11, and then we get the tax, blah blah blah, and then even then there is a tip, and then a new total. Mine is $11.16.
So good.
Yeah, okay. I was arguing that it should not be allowed to. And then this guy said, okay, I seen that you have tipped me automatically, and I will remove that. Nah. Even for me, I was always looking for finance, and because we're Dutch, so if we can do it cheaper, in a cheaper way, we will do it in a cheaper way. But yeah, it's for me, it's even, yeah.
Job tourists coming to New York City. You've pissed off the bars and the restaurants, and frankly, I love it myself. So here in the United States, where the tip culture has gotten so out of hand that even self-service at supermarkets now include a tip option, I kid you not, that is really a thing now.
Yeah, I've seen it. That self-service and then still a tip option.
The tourists that have come to New York City from other countries where they don't have a tip culture are not leaving tips at the bars. And because of the way the system works here in the U.S., the fact that studio apartments in New York City can run you between $2,500 and $3,500 a month U.S., which by Euro standards would be about $2,200 to about $3,100 a month for a studio, by the way, not even a first one bedroom. The wait staff is paid below minimum wage because it is legal. All of you out there probably know this. All of you mock that. I'm not blaming you on the slightest. On my side, I have that reverse counterculture thing where I go to places like England, France, Japan, and I don't have to pay it. And by the way, I want to point out additionally, a lot of times your tax is built in. So if the bill says 15 euros, it's 15 euros, not 15 plus tax. So that's something that's a little bit of an adjustment. Props to you guys for that.
Yeah, and as far as I know, in Japan, it's even an insult, as far as I know, to tip the waiter or the waitress for a service.
But what's happening now is that a lot of the restaurants and the bars are adding a mandatory 20% gratuity to offset for the lack of tips. So that $30 burger and fries that you got, which actually sincerely is actually how much it's running in a lot of places in Manhattan, not even like the upscale places, just the average places, that $30 burger and fries is now going to
$30 for burger and fries? Nope.
run you about $36. That $15 beer is going to run you probably, what, 18, 19, however the math works out. So the good news for you is you don't have to sit there and figure out the tip calculator. You don't need one. They're doing it for you, and yeah, it's just going to get more expensive. Let me know your thoughts.
Oh, but they don't.
Let me know your thoughts. And I already reacted to it. It's automatically. I don't think it's legal, but yeah. They don't tip in other countries, though. Don't tip in Europe. I really have to think. If it's on my holidays in Germany, in Switzerland, in France, in Romania, in Spain, in Italy, every time I left the table, I left something extras as a tip. So there is not a tipping culture, but it's not expected, but it's well really appreciated if you're doing it. So yeah, I really need to think if there aren't any countries in Europe that also have something like a tipping culture. I believe over here in the Netherlands, yeah, some do voluntarily, but it's not required. And that's the main difference between the US and Europe. Is it's not required or expected to do like it is in the US.
Don't tip in Europe. We shouldn't have to pay for you guys to survive. No one checks on you when you're in Europe. And that's how it should be, right? But Americans would have an absolute aneurysm if someone didn't give them 7 refills of Diet Coke. Where all of those refills they're charged for. Pick a struggle, babe. Yesterday I was in Malaga and we decided to go wander around.
Wait. All those refills, did she not say?
Checks on you when you're in Europe. And that's how it should be, right? But Americans would have an absolute aneurysm if someone didn't give them 7 refills of Diet Coke. Where
7 refills of Diet Coke, yeah?
all of those refills they're charged for.
Yeah, all those refills, as far as I know. And I've got some American subscribers, so they can add or correct me. But as far as I've seen in the comments, it's a free refill. Yeah.
Pick a struggle, babe. Yesterday I was in Malaga and we decided to go wander around the streets. We were sitting down at lunch and I asked the waiter for the check. Mind you, I had to flag him down for the check, which is very, very normal in Europe. It's not rude or disrespectful, it's just the expectation. You want to know how long we waited for the check? 20 minutes. Do you know the absolute tailspin that Americans would go into if they had to wait 20 minutes for anything? I've had people yell at me for their food not coming out in 5 minutes. Mind you, I don't make the food. Yes, they pay their restaurant workers a livable wage a lot of the times, but you guys would not be able to handle not being checked on every 5 minutes. I'm just being so for real, given my experience. And also, watching them
Okay.
Americans around me while I travel tweak out because they're not getting top tier service. I watched a couple the other day at the same restaurant I was at get mad at the waiter because they couldn't take cheese out of a quesadilla. Okay.
They could not take the cheese out of quesadilla. I guess that quesadilla is something with melted cheese in it or something. Yeah, okay. Incoming stitch. But back to... waiting in a restaurant, it's normal. Although, it depends on how busy it is. Like now, when it's a holiday season and it's nice weather outside and people sitting outside, having some fun, having a drink, and they think, okay, it's time to go home or it's time to go to somewhere else. And you say, sorry, excuse me, can I have the check? Then, it could be that you wait a couple of minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, and they're actually going to bring you the check because there are 20 tables around you and there are only 2 or 3 waiters. So, everybody has to be served. So, And we don't mind because it's nice weather. And we drink and finally then say, okay, good. And then we leave. It's not on the clock. We need to go. That's impatience. That's kind of thing that's, I guess, is hard for some Americans when they visit Europe. Yeah, okay, incoming stage. How Europeans in the USA for the World Cup are reacting as they learn that our yellow school bus... Yeah, okay, real, apparently.
So I'm in America, yeah? Guys, the yellow school buses are real. Me alive, I thought...
I've seen this before, yeah, not from her, but from somebody else. I don't know where this myth is coming from, that people don't think that the yellow school bus is actually, and it's actually there in the US, that they actually use yellows. I don't know. Don't ask me why some people think that it's not a real thing in the US. I don't know. I don't know where this myth is coming from. Good question for the Mythbusters, if they were still there.
It was just cartoons or the telly.
It's all real. All of it. Everything you're seeing on the TV, like the no health care, the fast food everywhere with no...
Okay, he's going to a different direction.
real food to be found unless you pay an arm and a leg. And also, I really don't want to scare you, but the pew-pew thing, that's real. So be safe here. Be so very safe.
Did you see that girl from Europe that was like...
Yeah.
She's in America and she was like, guys, I'm in America and the yellow school buses, they're real. It's not just for the telly. The yellow school buses are real. Oh, is it weird to have yellow school buses though?
Dropping hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. I do not know where this is coming from. Absolutely no clue. Americans fed up with World Cup fans not tipping. Okay, we're back to the non-tipping.
On beers and not leaving a single cent for a tip? For Aussies, that's just a Saturday night. But in the US, it's sending bartenders into a complete meltdown. As an estimated 1.2 million soccer fans flood the US for the World Cup, local venue staff are discovering that international visitors didn't get the memo about America's tipping culture. The beer is flowing, but the tips are coming up short.
Yeah. They didn't get the memo. I don't know. I think that maybe the bars should put up a sign at the entrance from tipping required, or because there are over here in Europe, there are not about tipping, but like paying. That's another frustration from Americans coming over to Europe, is that you have to pay for the bathroom. But there are a lot of, especially in the tourist cities, you can get to a restaurant to go to a bathroom as long as you have a drink. So you go sit down, you order a drink, you enjoy your drink together with the one you're with for you, and in between you go to the bathroom, and then you leave and you pay, and that's it. Pay without a tip. But in a lot of tourist-like cities, a lot of people get into a bar or a restaurant just to go to the toilet, to the bathroom, without ordering anything. So that's why in a lot of those bars and the restaurants are signs at the entrance that say consumption required. So you need to eat or drink something to be in that restaurant. Could be that those bars and restaurants in the US could be hanging a sign, a tip is required, whatever, 10%, 50%, so that people know that there is a tip expected.
One New York waitress revealed large groups are racking up tabs of almost $700 and leaving absolutely nothing. International fans are genuinely so baffled by the American ritual of calculating tips that venues are being forced to change how they operate. And
yeah, rounding up, because over here in Europe, we pay our staff. That's the general advice from us to the Americans. But we calculate in the price that we have to pay our staff. So if the basic price when we buy the beer, then we calculate electricity, we calculate the cooling, the storage space, we calculate X and Y, and we calculate all kinds of stuff. And in that calculation, we also calculate that we have an X percentage to pay our staff. That comes up to a total number of, and that's the price for that beer. For example, €2.35 or something like that. And when you have when somebody with a group and you get up to $700 or €700 of drinking beer, then in those 700 is already enough money to have the bar get out of the cost for the light, for the electricity, for the cooling, for the staff, for everything. That's another tip. For the tipping culture, calculate a price with a tip in it. Without saying it's a tip, because that's how we do it over here. And pay your staff.
no, they aren't finally paying their workers a proper wage. They're just slapping an automatic 20% fee straight onto the bill.
Just pay your staff.
Okay, but who get that? Who get... That's a question. That's only Americans can answer those questions. I don't know, but it's a question. If they put on another 20% automatically on the tip, is this 20% automatically go to the person who served them, or is it going those 20% automatically to the owner of the bar or restaurant, and still he does not pay his staff? I don't know, because if I pay a tip to a waitress or a waiter because he did good, he will get that in the tip jar for everybody in the restaurant or in the bar. But if I pay directly to, I don't know, do they actually get those tips? So even when they are automatically, I don't know.
Just pay your staff. We won't be tipping for beers at the half.
Venue staff say they're learning to roll with it. But their advice to tourists? Embrace the local customs if you want to have a better time. Is the American tipping system completely broken, or should tourists just cop the extra fee? Let us know your thoughts and head to news.com.au for the latest World Cup updates.
Okay, Australia again.
A group of Australians out here in Los Angeles, and we've been here for about a week in the United States. I've seen articles of the locals getting annoyed at Australians and other tourists for not tipping, because it's not normal to tip in their own country. And to be honest, when I first got here, I wasn't tipping anyone. I was like, stuff that. Oh, it's already expensive. Why am I going to tip someone? They're already getting paid by their boss. But then now, a week in, I realised, you know what? It's actually a better system. In Australia, we just, as an employer, you pay your employee just for rocking up to work. Regardless of whether they do a good job or not, they get paid. But here you get rewarded for a better job, and you know what I realised? The service here is 10 times better than in Australia. And so I'm not even tipping 10, 15, 18% anymore, like the recommended, or 20%. I'm tipping 100%.
Hey. 100%. Hey, wait a minute. Be back with you.
18% anymore, like the recommended, or 20%. I'm tipping 100%.
100%. Yeah, it's sensitive. Yeah, I get it. But that's tipping overall. If I pay, that's the general idea of tipping. is to incentivize that people do their job better, especially if you're a regular customer and they know that you tip good, they will pay more attention to you. I get it. Yeah. Oh boy.
Hi guys, welcome back once again. Europeans, they live in America and there's so much shocks with a lot of things we all know. Maybe for many years, a lot of people that have been built their image of America from maybe movies, television, social media and news headline, but we've all seen how a lot of Europeans, there's so much surprise, or the biggest culture shock is that from the moment they arrive, some of the biggest culture shock are the things Americans see as normal. The yellow school buses, the huge portion of food, the restaurant culture, the friendliness of strangers, and especially one thing that creates a lot of conversation, tipping. We've all seen a lot of people are talking about maybe tipping culture in America. Right now, Europeans have seen that tipping culture is real. Can you let's watch this clip to the end and I'll be back with more comments.
Let me get you some cash for the tip. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. Europeans, but I'm not sure if nobody in Europe knows that there is a tipping culture in the US. I did know, but I watch a lot of movies, videos on YouTube, etc., because of my channel. But everybody knows there. Yeah, not everybody, but a lot of people knows how it is in the United States. If you're a bit more interesting in how things work in the US, you should have known that there is a tipping culture over there. So you should not be surprised there.
It's fine. I'm not going to be tipping. What do you mean we're not going to be tipping her? Was something wrong? No, honestly, everything was great. I just don't believe in tipping anybody. Actually, tipping culture in America is absolutely insane. I'm not tipping you for my freaking latte. You do realize that, servers and bartenders, they don't make minimum wage. They do, work for tips, right? Okay, that's literally not my problem or your problem to pay their bills. So every time we've been going to a restaurant and you pay, you just haven't been tipping? Yes, I have not been tipping one time since we've been going out. It's not my job as the customer of a restaurant to pay the employee a livable wage, okay?
Yeah, that's the argument that a lot of Europeans use. I get it. It's two-sided. It's both sides are right, but yeah.
It is the employer's job to pay the employee a livable wage. Does that make sense? So you understand? We've been dating for months. We've gone to numerous restaurants. We've gone to fine dining restaurants. Our bill once was over $400 and you didn't tip her? In my defense, I don't even know what 20% of 400 is. And
okay. 2 times 4. It's too hard.
Why would I tip her more than that? That is absolutely insane. I would never tip on top of even $5. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to rethink some things because we clearly have very different viewpoints on how to treat service industry workers and bartenders, wait staff, different things like that. Yes, so I'll call you. Well, if you want to start paying everyone's freaking rent, you need to start paying for our meals. Yeah, well, I doubt that there is going to be any more date nights, honestly, so.
Okay, both sides of the coin in a date. Yeah, nice.
Tipping culture in the US has gotten so bad that some workers are literally starting to force you to tip them. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is absolutely crazy. So this person was like at a fast food restaurant or something, and then it was time for them to pay. But before they paid, a little prompt came up pretty much, asking if they wanted to tip or not. Every single option popped up besides the no tipping option, because as you can see right here, the no tipping option was blocked off because this worker put stickers on it. So this person was literally forced to tip them. Now, I'm no genius or anything, but I feel like this is definitely not legal at all. Like, blocking the no tip option like it says up at the top is just next level and ridiculous. If I was in this situation, I do not care. I'm ripping off these stickers and I am leaving no tip. Maybe I'm just overreacting or something, but putting a sticker over the no tip option would literally make me not want to tip even more. But I'm definitely really curious to know your thoughts about all this, and I feel like this worker could definitely get fired for doing this.
Yeah, but yeah, when you're going to my experience in for example, McDonald's, I don't go that much to McDonald's because it's way too expensive over here. Although we're cheaper than in the US. Okay. But it's the drive-through. You go to McDonald's, you order your stuff, you go to the paying booth, you pay without tip, then you pick up your food and you drive on. In a fast food restaurant, that's the business of the fast food restaurant. So asking in a fast food restaurant a tip for a service that there is no service, it's not right. But if you're going to sit in McDonald's and they're going to serve you instead of you going up to the counter and pick up what you ordered, but they're going to bring it to you and do other stuff and really give you the restaurant experience, yeah, there could be that you in the United States expect a tip. Over here in the Netherlands, no way. It's not normal. You just pay what you have to pay and that's it. Trying to explain tipping to my French friends.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Can you help me understand how tipping works in the US? Oh yeah, of course. It's super, super simple. So basically think of it like a service charge. If you go to a restaurant, somebody serves you, that's a tip. You get your nails done, the person who is serving you by doing your nails gets a tip. Okay, so then if I
Okay. Service tip.
go to a grocery store, they're helping you pack your bags, you tip 20%. Don't be silly, we don't tip at grocery stores. It's just too quick of an interaction. Okay, so if I order a drink at the bar, it's quick so I don't tip. Actually, you should tip at bars like either $1 to $2 per drink or 15 to 20%. Oh, this is so confusing. And what about coffee shop? It kind of depends, like a chain coffee shop, not really, but a local coffee shop, then yeah. And fast food? No, not really. I mean, it's appreciated, so you always can. Putain, and what, you just memorize everything? Yeah, and if you don't know, then just go based off the vibes. Trust me, you don't want that, because the French vibes would be to never tip.
Yeah. She explained exactly what I was thinking about it. How does it go in the fast food and, for example, at Starbucks, etc. So when it's a fast interaction, you don't pay. Except in a bar, then you pay for each beer a $1 or $2 tip on the beer. Yeah. Europeans in America, part 8.
I just seen a guy with a gun. It's a real gun. I just seen a school bus. Big yellow bus. I never see before. I just see today. I'm in the corner. Miles per hour? What? What's happened? Okay, I'll call ambulance. Why?
You guys have to pay for the ambulance?
And you'll tip me zero.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the tipping culture, but yeah, I would say research. There will be no tip. Me, $0.
Then $3 of that will come out of my money.
How does Texas...
What? Wait a minute. She has to pay for the tip if they don't tip? Does she actually say this?
And you'll tip me $0, then $3 of that will come out of my money.
How does Texas Roadhouse pay you?
They pay us $2.13 an hour.
Okay, and then they'll match to minimum if you don't make that in tips, right?
Yes. That really happens though. So we make minimum wage if we were to make that.
If you didn't get tips to cover from that to minimum.
Yes.
So then how does tipping out work? So a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. She says if we don't make enough with tips, the rest is to minimum paid by the restaurant. That sounds fair.
3% of our sales, and that's split amongst the buzzers and the hosts. So if the table tips you and doesn't tip you anything at all, then that'll come out of our personal money. Does that make sense?
So if it was like
the whole night was like $1,000 worth of food sold.
Yes.
You have to pay 3% of that out of your tips.
Yes. Honestly, all restaurants are like
And
that. So technically, say y'all's chow was like $100.
Yeah.
And y'all tip me $0, then $3 of that would come out of my money.
So we don't. So we shouldn't tip you anything.
I mean, I would pay to serve y'all, but I mean, y'all were fun, so it would be okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yo, if you don't have money to tip, don't buy the fucking food, bro. You literally went to the tip section and pressed 0. The fuck? I'ma piss in your food, bro.
What the freak up? I really hate tip culture. I really do. It's the fact of people like this. I mean, he's getting mad that somebody didn't tip him for a DoorDash, and he's already saying, oh, pissing your food, so on and so forth. Like, what are we talking about? You're telling me the only reason you're gonna treat someone nice is because of a tip? That, first off, is wild. And second off, it shouldn't be someone's responsibility to make sure you get paid. It should be the government's and should be job. Get tips. The obligation. 10, 20.
Talk normal, I can react, but...
Fanta pudding?
I know.
Are you guys serious?
I know.
Ugh.
Fanta pudding. Ugh.
You guys have infinite soda options. Like, what's a Mountain Dew? What's a Baja Blast? Why is your Fanta this color?
What's wrong with it?
I mean, it looks radioactive. Like, look at it. What is a Selena Gomez Oreo?
What's this? Oh boy, you don't know who's Selena. Okay.
What the hell is ranch?
It's like the sauce we love here.
And you guys dip pizza in it? Are you shit, buddy? $12 for a bottle of wine?
I know.
What?
Ridiculous.
All right, let's go. Perfect.
Whoa, you can just get one.
Yes, I can.
No, you gotta buy the whole thing.
I gotta buy 6 of these?
Yeah.
Man, I just wanted one. This is a serving size?
Yeah.
How am I gonna...
Serving size. Could be. It looks nice.
You know, where's all the people sitting outside and eating here?
Oh yeah, they don't really do that over here.
They don't do that? This sucks.
Let me grab your refill. Oh no, I didn't order one. Oh, they're free. What do you mean free? Nothing's free. Here they are. Seriously? Yeah. This isn't a trap? No. I didn't know if you Yeah.
Yeah, oh, he's back. Our Italian friend. Oh, dear.
I can refill this 1,000 times. Yeah, but you won't drink 1,000 cups of Ovalori.
So you like shopping in America a lot better, honey? We've already got 3 items.
You are cold.
So this is how you guys live here in America.
Or in America.
Yeah, okay. We have those too in Europe. It's not that special in the cinema. It costs you some extras, but those launching stools, sits, we do.
America for the World Cup, and you won't believe they got loot right in the house. Right to the left, you walk in, and the loot's right here. There was a toilet right on the inside. You don't have to go outside.
Yeah. Bridge first time in America driverless car. Yeah, that's something new. Target for the first time. This has nothing to do with the tipping culture. So I hope that's still...
This pizza. Damn. 1.26 kilos.
You want some French fries? Looks good.
What the
And the
heck?
kids,
It's so cool. And look at the size of this thing. That is absolutely massive. That is the size of my head. You can't get a drink this size in my country.
I don't like how the Europeans are starting to make me more patriotic because they've been here.
Okay.
I don't like it. I do not like this. Every time I see a video of one of them trying our food or like experiencing a flyover at a game, I have to stop myself because it's like I want to be so proud, like, yes, this is America, but then, damn, this is America.
They need to go back home because I don't like this.
You have to leave because I feel too patriotic.
I'm stuck. I don't know, should I be proud to be an American or not? They're
Because of the Europeans? I don't know, really don't know.
making me too patriotic, and I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
I am at Buc-ee's right now, and I just am looking for an explanation of what the hype is. Like, this is hell. Everyone's like, you gotta go to Buc-ee's. I mean, this is like a Cracker Barrel and a gas station vomited all over each other and then made the ugliest clothes you've ever seen. I'm actually horrified because I think this is what Europeans and other people around the world think of when they think of American culture, like in a dystopian way. Like, no, it's real, and I'm in here right now, and what is this? I'm so scared. The excitement surrounding Buc-ee's as an institution is an indicator of the state of the mental health of the citizens of this country.
Not much, not what I say. Damn.
I think if you are excited about Buc-ee's, you need to go see a therapist. Walmart has
maybe
been topped. The hell?
I've just had one of the biggest cultural shocks since moving to America.
Since
So I'm
moving to
sitting outside
America.
listening to the football. I'm not inside watching it, but I'm listening to it and having a glass of wine at the same time. And the USA just scored. Congrats to them. But we expected to hear a massive uproar from the neighbours, cheering, shouting. There is nothing. Literally not a peep from anyone anywhere. And if that was in the UK and England scored,
Yeah, if you're from the UK, if there's one nation in Europe where there's really love soccer, it's the UK. Besides Germany and the Netherlands and Belgium, the UK, yeah, be careful. Spain and Italy also, but yeah. I don't think in the US though.
miles you'll be able to hear so much shouting and cheering.
And cheering, yep.
It's unreal. My husband even came outside like this, and he was expecting to hear it as well, and there was literally nothing. But yeah, let me know if you are American and you are interested in watching the football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. Because where I am, it doesn't seem like anyone's bothered by it.
Hi guys, welcome back once again. One of the biggest surprise for many European visitors is the tipping system. The tipping culture has really shocked a lot of Europeans. In many European countries, tipping is usually optional. A waiter is generally expected to receive
optional is the right word,
a regular wages. So customers might leave a small amount as a thank you, but it's not always seen as a requirement. When Europeans came to America, they often experienced a very different system. At restaurants, tipping is deeply connected to how the service industries work. Instead of being just reward for excellent service, it has become an expected part of the dining experience. For visitors, this can be confusing at first. They may ask, why is the price on the menu not the final price? Why do I have to calculate extra money after eating? It becomes a cultural lesson, not necessarily about one system being better than the other, but about how different countries organize everyday life in different ways. And a lot of Europeans are really coming around and saying that maybe in our country, tipping is not a must, but whenever they have been in America, they have realized that you just must have to tip a waiter so that at least maybe he can serve you very well, or at least he can serve you maybe in a good way. Another thing, the food experience. Another big surprise, American food culture. Many visitors expect American food to be maybe exactly what they have seen maybe in movies. Burgers, fries, and fast food, but when they actually visit, they discover the huge variety of American food. The portion size are often one of the first things people notice. In many restaurants, the amount of food served can feel much charged compared with that they are used to back home. The taste can also be different because Americans' cuisines has been influenced by many cultures. From different regional systems to immigrant community bring their own tradition. Food in America is not just one thing, it's a mixture of many experiences. Another thing that has really shocked a lot of Europeans while they are being in America during this World Cup season is the famous yellow school buses and everyday American life. Sometimes the biggest surprise are not the famous landmark. They are the ordinary things. The yellow school bus is a perfect example to many Americans. It's just of childhood and everyday life. But to some visiting from another country, seeing thousands of bright yellow buses on American roads can feel like something straight out of a movie. The same happened with the
Yeah, because you see it in the movies, but yeah, I already explained this.
American's home, highway, supermarket, and the size of everything. Visitors often notice that many things feel bigger, from roads to stores to choice available. Another thing is the surprise about American people. Another thing many visitors talk about is the interaction with ordinary Americans. A person can have an image of a country based maybe on politics, news or online debate, but traveling introduces people to real human experience. And we've all seen Europeans are so much shocked, or they're so much shocked with the culture shock of America, because the things that they were really seeing on TV, or the things that they were hearing from friends, maybe like tipping or school yellow buses, they're the ones, or they're the same thing that they're really seeing on the ground whenever they're visiting in America. And America is not just what people see maybe on television. It's a place maybe full of contrasts, traditions, and everyday moments that can surprise visitors. The tipping culture, the food, the yellow buses, and friendliness, and the different way of life all shows one important thing. The best way to understand a place not just by watching it, is by experiencing it. And sometimes the biggest culture shock comes from the smallest thing. And it's the same things that really applies to also to Americans. Whenever they visit Europe, they come to Europe and realize that a lot of things are so much different. They come to Europe and realize that
yeah, of course, it's it's on the other way around. When Americans come to Europe, yeah, they experience a lot of culture shocks also when they step out of the bubble and get and learn how it is over here in several countries in Europe. Yeah,
our country is doing this, but when you come to Europe, it's kind of different. And what we really argue, we really make people to understand is that travel and see how the worlds look different. Maybe you can think that your country maybe is better than the other, but whenever you go to other countries, you're being surprised of how maybe your country is so small. You're being surprised of how the things in your country, there's so much difference from other countries. So traveling usually just open your eyes. So guys, let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't, like, share. Let me see you in the next clip.
Yeah. Nope. Good video, compilation of TikToks. Yeah. Over his final remarks, if the Americans come over to Europe and visit Europe, some things I see is when they're visiting Italy or they visit Spain or Portugal, that are the three favorite destinations. And of course, France, Paris. But what I hear is that, and I checked it because I was wondering, is this really true? But leaving the United States for a visit in Europe by plane, a plane ticket from the US to any destination in Europe is costing you an arm and a leg. So it's so expensive to travel from Europe, from the US to Europe, that a lot of people don't do this because it's way too expensive. So they don't do it at all. They stay in the United States and have their holidays over there. And when they get over, they only go for a week or so because it's rather expensive to get over to Europe, because they don't get paid. It's usually an unpaid holiday. I know. So I understand that not a lot of Americans come over to Europe to experience how it is over here in Europe, while we Europeans, we go to the United States for this soccer. And yeah, we can do it. We can afford it if you have reasonably saved your money for it. But yeah, I understand it. I get it, that it's hard for Americans to get over to Europe and experience the culture of all the different nations that are here, Germany, and the Netherlands, and Norwegian, and Romania. And I get it. I really understand that it's not that hard to do, that it's hard to do and to get over and to experience it. So hopefully this channel gives you both sides of the view, both sides of the pond. If I talk about Europe and how it is in the United States, maybe you'll learn something, and then you get insight in the culture, how it is over here in Europe, without spending a couple of thousands of dollars to experience it yourself. Yeah. And if you like this kind of content, then this is a good place to look for the next video. And otherwise, it would be really appreciated if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.